Today we will first go through what is agents and resellers, so a little bit what the feature is all about. I will try to explain what the difference between agents and partners is and what the main benefits with implementing this feature is. After this, Lisa will go through in the software how you're actually implementing this feature. I will show you a customer use case on how they've been using it in a real use case. After that, we're wrapping up and answering all your questions. So what is agents and resellers? Well, agents and resellers is a feature that makes it possible for you to have others selling your tours or activities or your services. So it makes it possible for you to have someone else selling it, not just yourself. They can use the agent desk to book it directly, or they can use a unique agent code. You are completely in charge of how your agents and resellers are being set up. So whether you want them to be allowed to do a lot and book all your different activities, or whether you just want them to have access to book a few, it's completely up to you. And you're also deciding the commissions that you want them to be able to take from the activities that they're selling. So when you have different agents and resellers, it can be sometimes hard to keep track on them. So we're also providing a agent accounting, which gives you an overview of all the different bookings that they're making, and also how many they've been doing and how much money they've been taking in. This makes it easier for you to, in the end of the month, when it's time for payouts, to actually know exactly how much you owe them and how much they've been giving you in turnover and revenue, and how much commission you need to pay out. So when it comes to the difference between partners and agents, is that an agent sells on your behalf. So they're selling a trip that you've been giving them permission to sell, and they're selling it for a commission that you also been deciding together with them. An agent doesn't have their own activities. They can sell from different accounts, but they don't need to have their own activities. So their main reason is to sell on your behalf. Another thing that's special for agents is that they don't need to have their own TrekkSoft account. So the only thing that you need to do is create an agent user, and then they will be able to sell your activities. So when it comes to partners, which I will not go in depth with now, we will have a separate webinar for this, but when it comes to partners, so the main difference is that they have multiple merchants that they can sell. Multiple merchants are selling on each other's behalf. So this is a partnership between you and another company. So you are deciding together who is selling what and for what commission or for what's reselling price. And with partners, the main point is also that they need to be a TrekkSoft user as well. So you're partnering up with another TrekkSoft user. You need to have a merchant account to be able to sell partners' activities. So that's the main reason between agents and resellers and partners. So what benefits can we see from implementing the agents feature? When using agents and resellers, you have a great opportunity to reach a broader market. So when it's not only you who are selling your activities, but with more than just one seller, you will also be able to reach your agents market, and in that way, it's a great way, it's a great opportunity for you to reach more than just your market. And it's also great for promotion, because someone who's interested in selling your activities, they will also be able to, they obviously want to sell your activity. They will also want to be able to get commission. So they will promote your activities on their behalf, but indirectly it's a benefit for you because you're reaching, the promotion is becoming larger. Yeah, as I mentioned, they have a different customer base, so it's always good to reach out to more people. And also, if you're a small company, or even if you're a bigger company, but using agents, it's kind of having another workforce. So if you're having agents, they can work as a workforce, but you don't have to hire them. You're just using agents or resellers to sell on your behalf. So now we have come to the part to how does this work. I will leave the scene to Lisa, and she will go through step by step how you implement agents and resellers.
That's perfect. Thank you so much for that, Olivia. So what we first need to do is we go into the back end of the system here. So you're probably all very familiar with the back end at this point. So essentially all we need to do first is we go into the promotions tab here, and then we have one separately just for the agents and resellers. So if we go in here, it's pretty straightforward. All you need to do is you go into the Add Agent tab in here. You can also import agents. So if you have, say, a list of maybe 30 agents that you wish to bring the information across for, you can do so just by clicking this option. So for this one, if we go into Add Agent here first, I'll create one for myself as though I was an agent. So first things first, you could give them their own unique agent code. So in here, it can be something as straightforward as a name, or if they get, say, like a 10% discount, something like that, that is applied for every time they could put through a booking. They can say, for example, Lisa 10 or Lisa 5, whatever makes it easier for you to track. For myself, I'm going to keep it nice and simple. I'm just going to put in Lisa here. And then from here, you can set in the commission that the agent is going to be selling at. So for each of the activities that they're selling, this is going to be, this is how you would set it. So for this one, I'll put the commission here as 0, just for the booking. But I also have an option here to create a discount code with the agent code as well. So if, for example, you have agents selling that may be able to apply a discount for the individual bookings, you can do so here. So it incentivizes and then being able to sell to potential customers. So if, for example, I put then the discount commission is 10%, then the 10% saving is going to go and be passed on to the customer. So what I'll do here first now is I'm going to set up a user profile here as well for Lisa, the trusted agent. So if, for example, I might put in something like, I'll just keep it very simple, something like this. And then you'll see here that the field is already automatically generated, so you can put in a password. So you can create a unique password for this particular agent. And then you'll see here as well, you have the option to input their bank details. So this will basically store on the agent profile that you have created for them. So then it's easier for you to reference and access these informations when you have to create the invoice, which I'll go into in just a wee brief moment. And then in here as well, you can set the different permissions that the agent will have. So if, for example, you want them to be allowed to retail, reserve trips, you'll see all the different permissions as well, depending on what type of agent profile you want to create. There are also some preset ones for, say, promoter, an online agent, offline agent, super agent. So you can toggle with each of these and see which one is the best fit for the agent in question. So I trust Lisa, so I'm going to make her a super agent. So you'll see then that these are already automatically ticked. And then when you're happy with what the work that you've done, you just click on Save here. So then you'll see here that there is now an agent here called Lisa. And you also have the option here to allocate different users. So you can create an agent code, but have more than one person able to access them at any one time. And so if we go into the Allocate User option here, you'll see here you can add another user, and you'll also be able to see the already allocated users in here. So you see you can create them here as well. So it's pretty straightforward then from that side of things. So then when you come to use the actual user code, I'm just going to copy this here, and we're going to go into the desk here. There we go. So I'm just going to log in here now with this new agent password that I've created. Let's have a look. There we go. So this time around, we're going to put in Lisa's details. That helps if I type it in. Apologies. And then the super secret password. There we go. So then when we're logged in here now, I can put through a booking then, and it's already asking if I want to save this information. So because Lisa is a super agent, I'm going to have different permissions than I would do if it was, say, an online or offline agent. So if, for example, I want to choose one of the activities here to book, it's as though you're making the booking yourself. So, for example, we'll go to a taxi boat. Sounds exciting. It's nearly the weekend. Why not? So then if we go in here, we can choose, which you can already see the information that the customer can select the date and the time, what seats are available. So the agent can then decide, how many the tickets to sell and everything like that. So if, for example, just fill in the information here. And then you'll see here as well that when I put in the agent code here, it's already recording it because I've logged in. You'll see that the saving of 10% has already been passed on to the customer as well. So instead of it costing 55, it's made that deduction automatically. So then we'll put in just some details here. So you're making it just a standard booking here. And all of the important information here. Probably don't need the date of birth, but why not? There we go. So then just put in just the regular fields here, record all the information. These are all of your custom fields that you've already created. So it's recording all of that important information, keeping it relevant. There we go. So all of that is recorded here. So same as before, they can put through the number of bookings. They go to save here. So then that's just refreshing. Go to the basket. There we go. So what I'll do then for this one is I'm just going to put it through as just a reservation. But you'll be able to see all the information here. The code of lease, the agent code of lease has been used here. The discount has been applied. All of that's been recorded. You'll also see that Lisa is showing as the agent here. And they can also change the agent from this part of the system as well. So if we go through and book it as the reservation here, then what I'll go into in just a second is I'll be able to show you the agent report as well. So this is where you keep track of everything here. So then I'll just log out of the agent profile here and go into just the general support, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. There we go. So then obviously for each sale then that each of those agents will create, you'll be able to keep track of all of that information. So you can see what agents are selling what activities, at what commission rates, that sort of thing. So if we go into the agent report in here, you'll be able to track all of that information here. Okay. So at the moment, it's just going to show, the different turnovers, the different commissions, the sales percentages, everything like that. And same with the reports here, you can generate this invoice and recalculate it where necessary as well. Okay, so that's basically how you create the agent profile, how you do the booking as the agent, and then also how you track the information in the report as well.
Thank you so much, Lisa. So we've come to the customer use case, and I would like to show you one of our customers that's called Aquamania Adventures, which is a company that is located in the Caribbean, and they are offering different kinds of activities such as water sports, day trips, boats, diving. Yeah, they have plenty. They have a little bit of everything. And as you can see here, and they want to reach out to as many people as possible. So what they've been doing then is to use agents. So I'm not going to go into their account, but as you can see on the pictures here, they have easily been able to they're using 114 different agents, which is a lot. And to keep track on that, they have all of them here clear in the agents view. You see exactly what agent has been given what commission and what they're allocated to. So allocation means that, I think that Lisa already said this, but that means how many users they're allocated to. Then we have here the agents accounting, which is helping a lot when it comes to the payout. So as I mentioned before already, when it's time for the payout, so if you're doing it on a monthly or weekly basis, it's up to you, but then you can always filter the agent's accounting onto that view that you want to see. So you can see how it's been doing in general with all your all your agents, and you can also see it how many percentage in turnover each and individual agent, and how much commission each individual agent has been making. So it's really great, and it's really been helping this company when it comes to reaching out and selling all their activities. So I would like to wrap up. And so what we've been going through today is that agents sell on your behalf. They do not need their own account. They just need to be added by you into your account as a user. And you have full control over commissions and over the permissions that you're giving your agents. And implementing this can lead to a much broader market, and you can also have a greater promotion opportunities through this. And lastly, you can see accountings of the different agents and resellers. So we also saw from Lisa, she showed us how we can implement this feature, how we are able to take bookings. And then lastly, we saw how to read the different reports. So we have come to the Q&A, and we will start to start reading the questions. And I just want to remind you, if you have throughout the Q&A also other questions that you might come up with, you can send them out. So we were just going to start, just see. So I will ask the questions and Lisa will answer them. So we have first a question from Laura, and she is asking, can an agent change the capacity of the trip?
So for an agent to change the capacity of a trip, it isn't possible unless you actually change the user profile that they currently have. So you would have to go into the system manually to change those permissions. So they're not going to run riot and be able to change different elements and different capacities on your activities. So no, that would not happen unless you have changed it to a different type of user profile. So you're in complete control with that. So not to worry there, Laura.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. We also have a question from Yoshori, and he is asking, how can I get agents?
So when you want to have agents, like, it can be, there's different types of agents that you can have. You can have like direct employees. You can have like a hotel or a B&B, like a different kind of establishment that are selling on your behalf. Once you have basically established that business connection, it's just a case of going in, like I showed you, and creating the agents then from scratch. If, for example, you're creating, say, an agent profile for a hotel or a tourism board, something like that, you can create multiple user allocations, as I was showing you, so you can keep track of that completely as well. So that's not an issue at all.
Thank you for your answer, Lisa. I don't know if maybe I didn't hear you, but you said as well, one thing that's important to mention is that you have to find your agents or the people you want to promote your activities yourself, and then you can add it to your TrekkSoft account as a user, just to mention. Then we have also a question from Jerome. I wish my agents to receive a link to personalize their passwords as soon as I add them to the system. How can I do that?
Okay, hi Jerome, this is Anna, the product manager at TrekkSoft. So there's an email template. If you go under, templates email, you see one that is called Bookie. Just by setting up there who's the sender of the email and the subject of the email, any agent that you might create, if you don't set a password for yourself, they will get an email with a link where they can set the password up for themselves. I hope it's clear.
Thank you. So there's plenty of us here, and we are here to answer your questions. So we're getting on with the next question from Pepe. Does an agent need to have a TrekkSoft account?
No, an agent doesn't have to have their own separate TrekkSoft account. All you need to do is just create an agent profile for them, give them their own login details. They can obviously change their own login details then. They don't need to have their own TrekkSoft account in order to be selling on your behalf.
Thanks a lot. And then we have one last question from Sophia. Can the agent see my whole back office? Or, yeah, I guess she means the whole privacy settings. Can an agent see everything of the company, or is it private settings or something like this, I guess?
No, they absolutely cannot see anything personal, anything private, nothing like that. Obviously, because it's your account, without your say-so, they can't access anything like that. An agent account is only really there for them to be able to sell the activities. So anything that's private and personal in the back end of your system, they cannot access.
Perfect. So everything is private, even though you're using agents. That's great to hear. I think that's all questions we had for now. Thank you all for attending the webinar today.